Hi, thanks for coming to my channel. I'm Joe. Today we're going to be doing a side-by-side test of the Power Air Fry Oven crab cake versus the normal deep fried crab cake. We're going to put them side by side, see how they match up, so stay tuned. The ingredients we're using is 1 medium egg, room temperature, a half cup of breadcrumbs, Italian seasoned and panko. I'm going to be using 12 ounces of lump crab meat, the canned version. It's just easier to get. 1/4 cup of mayonnaise, 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter, and about 12 crackers. I'm going to use the saltine here, or you can use the Ritz butter version, just as a filling. So we're going to take our crab meat. Again, this is lump crab and just some crab meat in the can. I just use canned meat. You can use fresh. It works just fine. So just dump that into a bowl. Okay. We're going to take our broken up crackers, dump those in there. If we need more, we'll grab some more, but it should be all right. Take our breadcrumbs, and this is mixed both Italian seasoned breadcrumbs and panko, just to give it better texture. Put that in. And we have our melted butter. I just put the 2 tablespoons of butter in the microwave for about 10 seconds so it liquefies. And we'll put that in there. Okay, let's mix that up a little bit. Okay, we're going to take the mayonnaise, put that in there. And make sure you use regular mayonnaise and not like a salad dressing or Miracle Whip or anything. You want to use just a real mayonnaise. The better the mayonnaise, the better the flavor. Okay, let's make sure we take that, mix that up, make sure it all gets incorporated. Now we're going to take one of the eggs, and I've got 2 eggs here. We're going to take one of the eggs, and we're going to check the consistency, make sure that we can make a patty out of these. And I'm using room temperature eggs. You want to make sure that they are room temperature. As you can see, it's starting to come together. And I think 1 egg should be enough for this. The texture looks pretty good, you can see it. It's sticking together. Okay. Take the butter here. And what I'm going to use an ice cream scoop, just so to keep the consistency or the size is the same, so when they cook, they all cook around the same time. I've got the oil heating up right now to about 360 to 375 degrees. May have to go a little warmer depending on how they cook here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a ball, kind of press it together a little bit. And I didn't add any extra salt in this. We can always salt it after it comes out of the oven or the fryer. So we don't want to add any extra salt in that. Okay, so you have a nice patty. Okay. Okay, I'll finish making these, and when I come back, we'll start frying them up. I think what I'm probably going to do here is I'm going to add some extra panko breadcrumbs to the outside of them, just to make them more crispy. Okay, so I decided to add some crumbs to the outside of it, some breadcrumbs, some cracker mix to the outside of them, just to give it a little bit more crisp to them. So we're going to take the first one here, just dip it in, just to give it a nice edge. And I'm just going to press them in a little bit. Want to make sure you get the edges. Again, press it in. Okay, I'll do the rest of these and then we'll come back and should be ready to fry at that point. Before we put it in, we're going to spray with some cooking spray just to moisten the top. This will help crisp the top. And we'll slide the rack in, close the door, and we'll set this. For this cooking time, we're going to be using the fish setting. It's at 390 for about 15 minutes, and we'll adjust it if we need to at the end. As the power air oven is doing its thing, I'm going to be deep frying the other 3 cakes here. We're going to put them in. When you put them in, I'm using a spider here. Want to just lay them in nice and easily so they don't splatter up, because the oil is very hot. You want to put them in and move them around a little bit just so they don't stick to the bottom or each other. And we're just going to let them fry up for about 5 minutes or so, or until they float up to the top and look nice and brown and crispy. As you can see here, they started floating to the top. They get nice and brown and crispy. Just going to do a little flip here, put the last one in, again very carefully. So you want to move them around a little bit, that'll help cook them. So now they're about done. I'm just going to take out the 2 that we put in earlier. I'm just going to a little flip here just to make sure they look good on both sides. Yeah, that looks really nice. As you can see how crispy they look. We just want to tap them out and put them on a paper towel, a dish with a paper towel. And we'll grab the second one here. And that one there's still not done. That's the last one we put in. Let that fry up for another minute or so. Okay, now I've taken them all out. You can see we're just going to plate these up. I'm just going to plate up to 2 here. I'm going to save this one here for later. I'm going to keep that one so we can have a side by side, 2 of the air fryer and 2 from the deep fryer. Okay, so now we're back. You have the power air fry oven ones here, and the regular deep fried crab cakes here. These 2 here, as opposed to these 2 here. They look pretty similar, and in crunch wise. They seem as crispy, so you can hear that. They're kind of the same. Break into them here, so we can break into that. You can take a look on the inside here. Same thing here. They're both nice and crunchy, so you can see that one there and that one there. I've got a little tartar sauce here that I'm just going to dip them in. I'm probably not going to use a fork here. I'm just going to dip them in. And they're very hot. And it just came out of the oven. The flavor is fantastic on these. The crunch is nice. No oily taste. What I did do is I did spray them to get them a little crispier on the outside. I added a little bit more time to it, so instead of the 15-minute with the fish setting at 390, I brought it up to about 20 minutes to get it nice and brown. These deep fried ones, again, just a regular deep fry, about 370, 380 degrees on the oil. I use vegetable oil for it, and I just cooked them for about 5 minutes, maybe 6 minutes or so. And just took them out. So in general, they look the same, they feel the same, flavor-wise. Flavor-wise, they taste identical. not much difference there. So I guess it's about preference, whether you like them fried, like them baked. Also, the time frame between the oil heating up to that temperature and in the cook process, it's about 25-30 minutes total. And you get about 20-25 minutes on the air fry oven. So I think we have a draw here. They're both identical. They taste the same. Not much difference between them. So I hope that explains the differences. I'm sure there's slight differences in calorie intakes and a little bit on the flavor side depending on the type of oil you use. But overall, they're identical. It's about preference, I guess. So I hope that cleared things up for you. I see you in the next video.